Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So people, if I look tired, it's because I am. I earned my tired, okay? Yeah, because, I did take all last week off to care for my husband. And thanks for those who are praying for Dale. He is not out of the woods yet in terms of pain, bruising, swelling, everything. He is pushing himself probably a little too soon, but that's on him, right? That's on him. So all I can do is be present and pray. But today I had to get to school because it was the first day of school for teachers. And I was overwhelmed. I did everything that I was supposed to because, of course, we had professional development and everything. But yeah, my classroom, normally I would have at least a week, to get on, and I didn't. And we have tomorrow, again, more professional development, but we'll have some time in our room. And then the kids come Wednesday. But you know what? I decided to back up a little. I am calming down. God is bigger. Right? I decided to calm down because I was like, no one can stash junk faster than you, Juliana. And the first 3 days of school are just getting to know the kids. I don't have to worry about curriculum yet. I can calm down. I can come early. I can stay late. But I don't need to freak out. And the thing is, and my room is in pretty good order. But for various things, as I suggested, when school suddenly ended, March 13th of 2020, we did stuff a bunch of stuff and lock up cupboards and things, right? And then when we finally came back for 1 minute in April to June of 2021, we already had a bunch of new equipment and things that we were supposed to use. So I didn't even unstash stuff. And then now that I'm back for 1 second, I made the mistake of taking paper off the walls because I thought, you know what, the paper is faded. I don't really need paper. A border is enough, less footprint on the planet, only to remember why I put it there to begin with, right? It was to cover up torn paper, scratches, dirt, a flippin' mess. So I'm quickly scrambling to put those walls back up. And that was somewhat unexpected. If I was more on my game, I probably would have remembered, but I do tend to be an optimist, and I forgot how horrific my room was in the beginning because I covered it up with bright, sunny, happy things. Anyway, that's kind of where I am with that. So prayers welcome on that. And then most importantly, prayers for my dog Freeway, the dog we found on the freeway, right? Because I feel pretty certain that he broke his foot, and I don't know what happened. I didn't see any horse trample him, and I really don't know what went down, but it's tricky because a few weeks ago he jumped off the bed and then he was limping, and seemingly like the next day he got on with it, and this is that same foot. So it may just be something long term that's starting to bother him too much to not just limp, but literally hold it up saying, Mom, I'm broken. Whatever the case is, Mondays are horrific for vets in the high desert, and I could not get in for anything, and none of them would do a walk-in. So I get to take Freeway tomorrow night at 8:30. And maybe that's a little too late for some. It's going to be just right for me because I will be finishing up my classroom a little later than I would hope. So anyway, prayers for precious little Freeway. You want your mommy to take care of you, but how well can you communicate in dog form? So God bless Freeway. All right, so anyway, thanks for listening on that. I just wanted to share really briefly what I love about being raw vegan. And of course, in the introduction video, I've certainly attested to some of the things. But what I really want to say is, and of course I talk about Tanny Raw, and she is an advocate for health on every health platform, social media health platform. And what I learned early on from Tanny Raw was that there's really no mistakes. There's no mistakes, which I've mentioned before. I love that because it's just like art. My mom was an art instructor, and she taught all of us that it's never a mistake. it's just going in a direction you didn't expect. And what can you do? It's like renewing a tattoo that needs a desperate cover up. What can you do? And so I taught children all the time that there were no mistakes. Same thing when you're writing a story, there's no mistakes. You just take the storyline in a different direction. And that's what I love about raw simplicity of raw foods. So for instance, I made a big salad, and for me, I do put fruit with my lettuce. It's no different than if I made a banana boat, but instead I chopped up the banana and chopped up the romaine, right? Because I didn't feel like a boat. So I made a salad. Well, it was taking me way too long to eat, which was like 2 seconds because my dude was in a hurry. And so I thought, fine. And I poured it into the blender. And because the bananas were room temperature and so was the romaine, I went ahead and took a 1.5 cups of frozen mango, just the pre-cut mango from Costco, and I poured it in there and I blended the whole thing into an amazing smoothie. So I went from a salad, really from banana boats, if you want to say, into salad form, into a smoothie. So I enjoyed some of my smoothie, but I certainly had some left because we had to get going. And so that night, with what I had left, I turned it into a dressing. So I already had like a mango banana, and these don't work for everybody, trust me. I can already hear my younger sister going, oh, my stomach, Juliana. I know, but it works for me. And I'm talking about me. Okay, so I went in and took the little bit that was left of the smoothie. I added some tomato to it and red bell pepper, which really complemented the mango, and put in a little bit of cayenne. And so all of a sudden, I had a dressing, right? And then when there was some still left, normally I'll pour the whole dressing, but this was a good amount. I actually had a leftover container. So I took that leftover container, and then I went ahead and added some, oh God, what did I add to it to thicken it? I'm thinking it was, what are those little guys called that aren't real rice? Did I mention I'm tired? Yes, you did. Oh, cauliflower rice. I actually added some cauliflower rice to that combination, and it absolutely thickened it right up. And I ended up using it as a dip for different, I had celery and I had bell pepper and I had cucumber that I'd pre-cut for something. And I'm just telling you, like, it almost reminds me of using the yeast in bread, right? And how you have to have a little bit of yeast to grow the next thing. And that's how I just feel, It's so much fun to, if you come at it with a mindset that says there's no mistakes, it's so much fun because you can transform anything into something else, depending on how thin it is, depending on how thick it is. Depending on what ingredients you still have to add to it. And I just love that. It's endless creativity. My gosh, you can make 70 different things from one base, right? Anyway, I just wanted to share that. I am tired and I'm going to honor myself and go to bed. What's sad is I've been laying in bed for hours, lying in bed for hours. Let's get that rule down. So humans lie and sit, and objects lay and set. Okay. Okay. So anyway, yeah, lying there for hours. I don't know if I'm overly concerned about my husband. I don't know if my brain is just going, 100 to nothing, which of course it is. I try and offer it up, but sadly, I'm really tired, but excited too, I mean, we are going back to school. I am a little concerned, as I suggested, because, 20% of hospitalizations in a place like Florida and Texas, no offense to anybody, but, 20% of those beds are children. And, all my kids are coming in as 10-year-olds, a couple 11-year-olds, a couple 9-year-olds, certainly under 12, not getting vaccinated. coming from families that are against vaccination, not completely, but a large number. And, my district is insisting at the very least on masks when we're in the classroom. They're saying if children are outside, they could technically take them off. But to me, that's ironic, or moronic, because when they're outside, they're shouting and breathing harder and heavier, and out comes whatever the potential is right there. So I am going to request, in protection of myself, my asthma, and my old age, honey, because I am getting much older, dear, that my children keep their mask on even when we're as a class outside. Wish me luck, friends. All right, like if you like, donate if you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. And until we talk again, best of all, if you're not starting teaching right now, and you're not exhausted beyond measure with a husband who has surgery and a dog that broke its foot, count yourself blessed.